Senator Angus King has reintroduced legislation to authorize additional access to the Katahdin Woods and Waters National Monument. The bill would authorize additional access points to KWW by giving the National Park Service permission to acquire land from willing donors or sellers. If the NPS decides to authorize a new acquisition, it would then use that land to better connect the monument to the Millinocket region and major roadways. The additional access would only happen with willing landowners, and the bill forbids the use of eminent domain.